Your Olympic hero has arrived. It's true, it's true.
You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another episode of Random Thoughts. Today I want to do somewhat of a rant, as well as a random thoughts, about double standards people seem to have with, pranks and stuff like that. Like, obviously, there was sort of a prank epidemic on YouTube years and years ago. It's not really as much of a thing now, but people would have very different standards for some creators more than others. For instance, Filthy Frank did all sorts of crazy shit that was great, by the way, and nobody had a problem with it. But Logan Paul tases a dead rat, and everyone acts like it's terrible, when Filthy Frank was cooking up dead birds and messing with people in Japan, and when Logan Paul's messing with people in Japan, people had a problem with it. And, look, Logan Paul has his problems. I think his content is largely shit. But I'm not going to apply a different standard to Logan Paul than I would to Filthy Frank just because people don't like him. I've actually found myself defending Logan Paul on multiple things over time. People say, he was filming in the Suicide Forest. It's like, who the fuck wouldn't? Don't people go to supposedly haunted places all the time? Don't people go to places where people supposedly died? Isn't going to see a dead body kind of like a thing that people think about? Look, there's a reason that Stand By Me is a fucking movie. Obviously he shouldn't have posted it, but, I saw this one video actually pointing out how it was all staged or something, and that was kind of an interesting look at it, too. But it's with that was, one thing, everyone, chimped out about all this other stuff he apparently did, too. People have no problem with, Jackass doing the things they do. But then they look back at Tom Green and talk about how awful Tom Green was, and how Tom Green did all this crazy shit, and how it was bad. But Tom Green was literally just doing the same shit that Jackass was, and people have a problem with it. Everyone's so fucking uptight and wound up that they have to fucking take everything so goddamn seriously. Why have a problem with something in one scenario but not another? I understand that there can be instances where context can make a difference, but when they're literally doing the same or pretty fucking similar things, or in some cases not even as bad things, and then you act like it's somehow worse, you're just being disingenuous. And everyone does it. It's ridiculous. Everyone acts like all those fucking obnoxious prank channels that were being pains in the ass were somehow worse than Jackass. They'd be like, oh, they say all these fucking sexual things to these women. It's like, hey, do you guys remember Party Boy? You guys remember that from Jackass? Where Chris Pontius would literally fucking strip and, put his dick up in their faces while he's dancing? Yeah. Why didn't you have a fucking problem with that? People and their standards are ridiculous. If you found it all distasteful, that'd be one thing. Or if you thought certain instances went too far, that'd be one thing. But when it's literally, something that's lesser, and you're like, oh, this is so much worse, fuck you. It just comes with how soft people have become nowadays. Like I said, culturally, things were very different just a few years ago, and they only keep getting worse. People are getting softer and softer and becoming little baby bitches who whine about, oh, he's bullying me, oh, he's being mean, oh, he's an asshole. Fuck you. Stop being a baby. Fucking deal with it. People need to realize that, the world is fucking... It's not nice. It's not fair. It's fucking full of chaos. And, people doing all sorts of, kind of shitty, chaotic fucking things just, is just gonna happen. I think that it's ridiculous to pretend that, you never found this sort of thing entertaining, or you've never found a mean-spirited joke funny. Or you somehow now have to, feel for people on a way that you didn't before. It's people act it's funny to me, people always will, when they talk about racism, they'll be like, well, people don't get called the N-word as much, and I'm like, is that really the fucking go-to for racism? Being called a nigger? Is that so much worse than being enslaved? Why is that your go-to thing in your fucking head? Are you retarded? And also, people will still say retarded, and a lot of people are still okay with faggot, but you say nigger, no, that's too far. You motherfuckers ever played Xbox Live? You ever played Halo? You ever played fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? You wouldn't fucking last 10 seconds in a lobby like that. You wouldn't last 10 seconds playing that game. And another thing, people act like people making quote-unquote death threats is somehow, a big thing, too. If it's an actual genuine threat, that's one thing. But, if a little kid says that he's gonna fucking take you out and you're playing, a video game, that was just par for the course on the internet. Obviously there is a difference between a credible threat hey, I'm going to do this thing, you better watch your fucking back, to, you know, a rhetorical fucking threat that's obviously ridiculous. Like, there's a big difference between the two. And contextually, there is a difference there. But people act like there isn't, and they're fucking cowards. Like, everyone's a fucking pussy now, and I know I've made this point plenty of times before. But literally, everyone gets so up in arms and acts like they've never been a mean asshole. They act like they've never had a cruel bone in their body. We all fucking do. Like I've said before, there's literally conversations that I've had in the workplace that I literally cannot repeat on YouTube because of terms of service. And there's, like, people are soft. It's HR culture is a part of it, too. I know I ranted about HR before, whereas, like, I think HR is a fucking useless department that only feminizes the workplace and makes everything terrible, which is why women don't belong in the workplace, and they overwhelmingly fill up HR departments. Like, literally, there has been no good accomplished by an HR department. Like, ever since our HR lady left my work and we don't have a local HR rep, it's been so much fucking better. It's been so much more bearable. And since I'm talking about double standards, if anyone takes issue with the fact I said women don't belong in the workplace and say, well, that's double standard, yeah, because men and women are actually different. That's true, they are. It's actually fucking different. Speaking of context. But at the end of the day, if someone's making, like, some shitty prank video, I'm not gonna hold them to a higher standard than I'd have held Filthy Frank to back in his prime. Like, I don't understand just how people are. Like, again, you can get away with fucking horrible shit on TV now. Like true crime shit on TV can be as graphic as they want. But on YouTube, you say the word rape, you say the word kill, you say the word suicide, you say half of the fucking normal words that are associated with crime, you instantly get flagged for demonetization. Like, granted, I'm not monetized, so I don't give a shit. I say what the hell I want. But a lot of these true crime channels are fucking pussies and won't say it because they'll get demonetized, which, it's bullshit because a lot of these same advertisers advertise on fucking cable TV where they say way worse and they'll show explicit graphic gore, which would violate YouTube's terms of service to upload. However, a lot of the times these TV channels will get it uploaded to YouTube and not get a strike. Same with music videos. Music videos get a pass on shit that most people don't. Like, everyone's a fucking pussy and everything is elitist. It all comes down to whether or not you're in the club. If you're part of old media, you're part of fucking, you know, the news, or you're part of music, or you're part of the TV media, like, networks. Like, if you're part of the mainstream fucking cool kids club trademark, then you get a pass. But if you're not, you just don't. And, I'm fucking sick of this bullshit. Everyone's a fucking coward. And, I know I've said similar stuff to this before, but hopefully this was distinguished enough to make it worth its own video. And besides, I wanted to get another video out today, you know, because, I'm gonna try to get in the swing of doing regular uploads again. I always do, and then there's a little hiatus here and there, and then there's, like, little dry spells and whatnot. But, anyway, just thought I'd come in here. I actually wanted to talk about this because I was watching some Tom Green stuff, and I was thinking about why the fuck do people hate Tom Green if they like Jackass? Like, Jackass was clearly inspired by Tom Green. Like, without Tom Green, there'd be no Jackass, there'd be no Filthy Frank, there'd be no Eric Andre. Like, there's all this shit that's inspired by Tom Green. It's like Tom Green was the OG. But anyway, I guess that's all I really have to say here. Have a good one. Toodles!
No, goddammit! I'm gonna fucking die here, Jack!